Hey everyone, how's it going? I made a post quite a while back on Google Plus about some of the issues I was having with the Motorola Moto E 2nd generation 2015 on Boost Mobile, and I'm just now getting around to telling you some of the issues I've been having with the Moto E. This is just an update. I've not even done my full review on the phone yet, but this is just some of the issues I've been having since I've had the phone and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Now, as most of y'all know, Motorola has always had an issue with reboots, restarts. And that's one of the issues with the Moto E. When I got the phone and started charging the phone with the phone powered on, I would find it resetting itself, or not resetting, but I would find it restarting itself on its own while charging. And I thought, well, just a little glitch, probably no big deal. It done it once, at least once every time that I would, throw it on charge. So I thought, well, no big deal. It's charging. Who cares, right? Well, now it's getting to where it does it on a more regular basis, even when it's not charging. It can just be, I could be playing a game, I can be on an app, and it'll just stop what it's doing, freeze up, and restart itself. And anybody who's had Motorola for a number of years knows that's a known problem with Motorola. And even with my very first phone from Motorola, which was from Verizon, from back in '04, which was this phone, the Motorola V265, which was one of the worst phones I'd ever used in my life. But it was my first camera phone, and it was just awesome and everything. But, that phone had a problem with restarts all the time. Just did not want to work right. I've had the Moto Razr, along with everybody else in the world. I had the Moto Crazer, the Moto Razr Max, all them flip phones that I had with Verizon. I was with Verizon for a long time. Until I got tired of being ripped off. And then I went to different carriers and finally ended up with Boost, which is one of the most awesome prepaid carriers, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Anyway, but, Motorola's not changed a whole lot. I'm having issues with my phone, restarting itself every once in a while. It's not a big deal. It's just this phone right here is aggravating to me in a way, and I will explain that here in a few minutes. Now, I know somebody on Cricket that has the Moto G, which of course the Verizon model, the Moto G, the Cricket, the Boost model of the Moto G were 3G devices. Well, on Cricket, it's LTE compatible. Why they couldn't do that on the Verizon or the Boost Mobile model is beyond me, but hey, it is what it is. But so far, the Moto G that they have has had no issues with restarts, but they have had a lot of issues with reception, and that's number 2 on my problem with my Moto E. It is really one of the worst, sketchiest reception phones that I have with Boost Mobile. And it's the same way with their Moto G on Cricket. Every other phone from Cricket can get out fine, but the Moto G suffers. And that's the same way with my Moto E. I can power this phone on here in a lower coverage area where I live, and it takes about 2 minutes to actually grab service and about 5 minutes to grab 3G service. Even though I'm in a moderate spark network area, I'm still in 3G and can barely hold on to 3G. Strange, but all my Boost phones are that way. So anyway, but my Aquos Crystal, my Kerasera Hydro Icon, my LG Volt, all of them phones, 2-3 bars of service immediately when the phone's powered on, while it takes about 5 minutes to get a good connection and good signal on the Moto E. And I also find it losing service quite often. Now, if I get a phone call and I answer the phone, it does seem to hold a call pretty well. But when it gets in and out of service, you can forget it for about 5 minutes until it decides to grab back onto service. Now, I know it's the first phone I have with Lollipop. Could be the reason. I really doubt it, but that's just what I'm thinking. It's weak. The reception is pitiful in a lower coverage area. Now, if you're in a good coverage area, when I'm out and about, I have strong LTE, strong signal, and it just sounds wonderful. I mean, this is a wonderful phone, other than the few issues I've had with the device. Call quality is excellent, signal strength is good. If you were in a good coverage area, if you're in a lower coverage area and reception is a priority to you, this may not be the phone you want to have. So that's another thing, is the reception. Motorola used to be one of the dominant phones, them and Nokia back in the day, of reception. I mean, a Nokia phone or a Motorola phone, you can be in the middle of nowhere and have service where nobody else would. But now, Motorola has just seemed to drop the ball on their reception. Number 3, I have experienced some lag with the phone. Now, this phone runs the 1.2 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 410 64-bit chip processor with 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of built-in storage, with 5 GB available to user, which is a really nice processor for a low-budget device phone. It costs between $50 and $70. Excellent price, by the way. Very solid built phone. This is a very good, very solid built phone with excellent battery life. Screen quality is great, but I have experienced some lag. Now, there's times it's just fast, but I can power the phone on sometimes. Go to the dialer. Takes a good 3 to 5 seconds to access the dialer. I can enter a number in, push call, and it just sits there for 5 seconds just before it decides to make a phone call. There's times I can be on an app or a game, and it just takes it forever to go back home and be able to be functional to work smooth. Now, when it works smooth, it works super smooth. But I have experienced some lag in the Moto E 2nd generation. Now, you know, I know whenever you go and buy a budget device, you get budget specs, and you ain't going to get a perfect phone. It's going to be completely lag-free, you know, and going to be... But, I mean, even some of the flagship devices that you see now, I've seen the Galaxy S6 on some reviews that have lag. And, you know, I've seen a lot of these high-end phones that cost 10 times more than this phone does, that it has lag when you're just using the phone. So no phone is perfect, no phone is lag free, but you know, sometimes when you get that extended period of lag, it does kind of get on your nerves a little bit. But you know, it's kind of a small price to pay for, you know, a phone that's built this solid, you know, that, you know, has a decent camera, excellent call quality, a good screen, and I mean, just an all-around good phone. But you know, there are just a few things there that I wanted to discuss about the phone. If you're looking to buy this phone right here, you know, you might get one that's flawless and has no issues whatsoever, because you can buy 2 phones identical. One gives trouble, one won't give a bit of trouble. But I feel like that I needed to just kind of share this along a little bit and give you some of the experiences that I've had with the phone since I have been using it. But overall, great phone, great call quality, battery life is good, and it's just a very solid built phone all the way around, other than a few things. And so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you got any questions or comments about the Moto E 2nd generation on Boost Mobile, Verizon, because Verizon sells the same phone, it's just a different color. You know, leave them in the comments section below. If it helped you out a little bit, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you ain't already, subscribe to my channel. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all in the next video.